Hello. Yes, I know it's black and white. I did this for a reason. And part of that reason is because the black and white, the difference as day and night relationship we have with Israel. Well, actually, what the president has, and I don't think most of the people of the United States of America have it. We have chosen, or some of us chosen, a terrible representative as far as, well, I'll just put it this way, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but, because it talks about talking down about, the dignities and the government and things like that. This president does not express our beliefs, our friendships that we have with the Israeli people. And I was listening earlier to a video on Steve Harper, I think it was. What's this dude's name? His support, the Canadian Prime Minister, was who he is, and his support for the Israeli people, which I was glad to hear that, and glad to see that. And
body language check.
I support Israel 100%, not because I'm a Christian only as well, but because it's the right thing. I guess that a lot of that really does go around me being a Christian, but it's God's land. It belongs to Him. And when you take away God's land and give it to other people, that's something. When God tells you not to do it and you do it and you go against His will, look what happens. There's so many things that have happened to this country. Storms come up a day or two. The coincidence we have with these storms, these terrorist attacks, this Hurricane Katrina and other storms, wow, so many other things, the pipeline, the oil rig, in 2011. And, wow. I mean, it's not only coincidence, it's the Lord working and showing His might and His power to those who don't support Israel. And to those who curse Israel, God will curse them. To those who bless Israel, God will bless them. But the thing about it is that the Prime Minister of Canada was all for Israel, but the thing I didn't agree with was the two-state solution. And it seemed like he was going for that. And he's supposed to be a Christian as well. But he was like, whenever that's what the Jews want to do, then Israel wants to do, then that's what we support as well, or something like that. I forgot exactly how it went. But really, the Palestinians should, what I feel, they should all agree with the Jews, of course, to become one state, and where their freedoms and their human rights are protected. And if they want to live in Jerusalem, not Jerusalem, if they want to live in Israel, then they should have the opportunity to do so, because that's the best, and I'll use the word viable, gain they have, is to live in Palestine with many other Palestinians, Israel, with many other Palestinians, enjoy the freedoms of the Jewish people. But no, they don't want that. They want the two-state solution. And really, when it comes down to it, not only do they want the two-state solution, they want to wipe Israel, maybe not the people themselves, not the Palestinian people per se. Of course, the name Palestine, and I've said it in my other videos, doesn't make sense. Either they're Syrian, either they're Lebanese, either they're Arabians, Saudi Arabians, or they're Egyptians. That, the word Palestine hasn't existed for a long time. The people, that is. I mean, Philistines, Philistia, and all this. This country that used to be Palestine was pretty much where Gaza is now. is no longer there. The people have been extinct for a long time, and they were even coming from, they were, what do you call it, Cashlites, or they were somewhat Greek in origin, seafaring people. They no longer exist. But anyway, this is what I was watching as well, the body language, and back in in May 2011, whenever they had this contention toward one another, Obama and Netanyahu, and I was like, yeah, you go, Ben, because I'm for the Jewish people, I'm for the Hebrew people, I'm for the Israelis, because they're my brothers and sisters. We might not all have the same faith, Jesus Christ and Him risen, but we got the same spiritual history. Maybe not the physical history, but the same spiritual history. And so we have God as our Creator, and we have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as fathers, spiritual fathers, and they have them as natural fathers, biological fathers, what have you. But anyway, let's take a listen to this.
Tonight, three interesting situations, beginning with the tension between President Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
I would show the video, but I don't want to show the person's name. But I will just take a listen to it.
Obviously, there are some differences between us in the precise formulations and language, and that's going to happen between friends.
And while Israel is prepared to make generous compromises for peace, it cannot go back to the 1967 lines, because these lines are indefensible, because they don't take into account certain changes that have taken place on the ground.
Here now, body language maven Tanya Ryman. So I'm not buying President Obama's contention.
He was mad, Obama. He was pretty upset, and I don't know if any of you invited saw this, but it showed videos of him before kicking over the podium, throwing down the podium and kicking down the door, because he gets immature. I'm not gonna say nothing too bad about him, but he just gets immature. Anyway, let me hold that thought. Here we go.
That disagreements happen between friends. They don't look like they're friends to me.
Now, I would say that's a very, very big lie when we talk about friends.
I don't know if they're lies.
Oh, no, they don't like each other.
Oh, you're adamantly convinced of that?
I'm adamantly convinced that they don't like each other.
Persuade me.
Okay, well, when you look at two people who are friends, you don't see contempt in the eyes of one. So President Obama is looking, and as you see him, he starts to grab his chin really hard, and he's staring, and he gets that glare in his eye, and he's squeezing his chin as he does this. In addition to that, you can see the veins pulsing in his forehead, in his neck. When you see something like that, that's not a friend.
So all of this happened when Netanyahu was speaking?
Yes, and as he spoke, he also, you saw like a little bit of the sweat on his forehead. And when you see that, you recognize that he's getting nervous as well. That sympathetic nervous system kicks in, anger, frustration. See the sweat on his forehead?
Why can't they disagree about the policy and not dislike each other?
Because they were so disrespectful to one another. I mean, even the verbals, if you listen to Netanyahu, you heard the sarcasm in his voice. They were very confrontational, even here. So to me, it came across as...
I didn't hear sarcasm as much as condescension.
Condescension, sarcasm.
Right, like
I heard a little bit of
both. This, Mr. Obama. You should know we can't defend this.
We can't do this.
Right.
And that was
so you're entirely convinced
that they do not care for one another, yes.
Okay.
Well, that's obvious, isn't it? It's black and white. They totally agree on each other's points. And no, Israel cannot go back into its 1967 borders. No. It just won't work. And again, whose land is it? It's God's land. It's God's. It belongs to Him. He says it's my land. I mean, it's all through the Bible. Read it for yourself. I don't have to show you scriptures. Read it. Look it up. God's land. L-A-N-D, land. Look for it. Take it easy.